Relationship matter. Serious thing. Anyways, you're welcome to the program. Today we are set and raring to go. I have a full table on the program this afternoon. But first things first, it's Thursday and it's the 22nd. I'm correct? 22nd of August 2018, and my name is still Patience. It's a pleasure to have joining me on the program this afternoon Mrs. Tina Uche, who is an advocate with Women Arise for Change, and she's also a counselor. Good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you for coming. I love your earrings. They're nice. Also, I have our sweetheart on the show this afternoon. He is a psychologist and a counselor, Charles Oyenaucheya. Good afternoon, Charles.
Thank you for having me.
Always nice to have you on the show. Always full of drama. Yeah, and also we have our mommy on the program as well. She always brings that mature perspective, you know, to our conversation. She is a woman of God. She's also an author, and she is a counselor, Pastor Dolly. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Thank you indeed for joining us on the program. All right, remember that you, the viewer, you are not left out in today's discussion. You can make your contributions via SMS by using the number 0802 836 8971, SMS only, or you can use any of our social media portals, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Okay, so are we set for today? Our topics are something. Starting our first topic today, smart ways to deal with infidelity. We all know that in any love relationship, issues bordering around infidelity or cheating, if you don't know what infidelity is, you know, those are very serious issues, and that's because the trust has been broken somewhere. Now, trying to rebuild that trust, rising above it, and seeing if life can go on, you know, is always a big one for a lot of people. Okay, that's what we'll be looking at. What are the ways we can actually deal with infidelity? I mean, it has happened. It has happened. Life has to go on. So how do we move on from here? But first, let's listen to this counselor tell us a bit about how to deal with infidelity. We'll be right back.
What do you do if you have a romantic partner, you know, someone you really love and have trusted, and you all of a sudden find out this person's cheating on you? Probably the most common reaction to finding out about infidelity is anger. Feel that emotion, recognize that emotion, and also recognize that behind that anger, there are likely to be dozens of different emotions burning underneath. Resentment, shame, humiliation, ambivalence. Before you can ever try to rectify with the other side, if you even decide to, you need to internally take power of your own emotional self. That whole process doesn't take 20 seconds. That whole process can take weeks, months, you know, for some a lifetime. And if you look deeply enough inside of you, my sense is you will find the answer to what you can do. Some people say, there is no way I can live with him or her again. That's what your emotions might say and continue to say over time. For others, it might be, I despise you right now, but I cannot hide from the fact that I still feel a connection with you and I want to live my life with you. And if that's the case, if you do talk instead of walk, you might want to move towards sharing some of those deeper emotions with the other person in a way that helps you to to get it out, but that is ultimately beneficial to your relationship if you want to move forward.
All right, we welcome you back to the show. 0802 836 8971. That's the number to interact with us with. All right, so how do we deal with infidelity? We'll start with you, Mrs. Tina.
Okay. Everybody knows the meaning of infidelity first and foremost. How is the way to deal about it? It has been committed and the trusts have been broken. you want to find out that person that's committed, that is the person, he or she, is she or he ready to stop? Now, what actually, caused it in the first instance? What happened? Because in this part of the clients, whenever a man goes out, they will blame it on a woman. It's always the woman's. But the cases I've handled, you find out that, yes, I want to stop, but the other party, the trust
It's broken.
is broken. You have to find out, are you ready to is it to forgive? One can forgive, but to forgive is always...
To forget, you mean?
To forget is always difficult. Now, when the two parties involved are ready to move on, then the work of a counselor is happening. Then the man, if he's the man or the woman, the person that committed, has to go extra mile
to rebuild
build,
that trust.
You have to build what has been broken. And for the fact that the person is ready, because I've handled some difficult cases. Why did you do this? They will tell you that my husband didn't offend, my husband and my wife didn't, my husband didn't, but I don't just know what keeps me going committing this. That's a difficult one. Then some will tell you that after all, I'm an African man, there's nothing one can do. My grandfather had up to 5 and things like that, that kind of thing. But when you have two parties that are ready to forgive and to start building the trust again, because that is where we have to, I'm ready to build the trust again.
Okay. All right.
I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready not to go back to that vomit, because it's a vomit.
All right, Charles. I know your brain is doing overtime right now.
I don't even know where to start. It's almost, for me personally, I don't think I can ever get over infidelity.
Really?
Yes, I don't think so. And then, just as a pointer to what she said, blaming, the partner for the indiscretions of his or her partner is the most stupid, and sorry for my language, but the most unreasonable thing to do. And I remember the last time I was on the show, there was a question: is it possible for a partner to help, to live a certain way, to do things a certain way that will ensure that
the other party stays on the right?
And
yeah.
I said, everyone was like, it's possible, but I still say no. It's not possible. Faithfulness is all about the individual. If you have it in you to be faithful, you will be faithful. Because every day we are constantly bombarded with, reasons and opportunities to go the wrong way. It's all back to...
So it's a choice.
It's a choice. There's nothing you can do. And if your partner cheats, this is the first thing I tell people. Don't ever blame yourself. Because that's the...
It's not about you.
It's not about you. The other person has a problem. Now, back to the question, how can you move on? I think, just like every decision, in life, the natural A-leaf reaction to a partner who cheats is you want to call it quits. You want to just end the relationship, whether it's a marriage, or boyfriend, girlfriend. But I know the culture that we find ourselves in. Now, even back to the Christian, back to the religious culture, okay? Even there's a part of the good book that tells you stay with your spouse except when they cheat.
When there's adultery.
There you go. So I really don't know how. For real, I can't advise someone how to move on after being cheated on. I don't know what to say. Yes, it just has to be your decision. Do you want to, sometimes there's a lot of factors to be considered. You have probably built a relationship for so many years. Well, I know a story, a true life story about a man that had, an affair, and eventually the wife was so broken, so bitter, and she died. And a few years down the line, the woman's children said to the man, marry the woman you cheated on our mother with.
Wow.
I have seen those kinds of stories. So really, I don't even know what to say. Patience, that's the truth. But it has to be your decision. Maybe when you consider what you've built but then you've spent so much time, relationship energy building, and the other party just goes and cheats. Now that's my question. What exactly is there to fight for? That really is my. I just want to be real, and I'm trying to put myself in this position. I really don't know.
Okay,
how
okay. I think I get where you're coming from, Charles. But let me ask you a quick question so we can move on to Pastor Dolly. Do you think there are levels to cheating? Perhaps.
Well, yeah, well, yes. In my opinion,
there are levels.
You can cheat emotionally.
Okay.
Okay, you can have a mental relationship with someone else. You can, there's of course the physical intimacy that's inappropriate. So there are different
kinds of cheating. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So,
And
but
it's
so
a lot
which
easier.
which one can you not forgive?
I think
You,
it's the physical.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, because that's the one that keeps playing in your mind. Yeah. Okay. All right. I deliberately asked that question. All right, Pastor Dolly. How do we handle infidelity?
And actually, before it gets to the physical one, it has to go through stages. That's right. And it's because the other person, the cheater, probably did not handle it well. That is why it got to the physical one. That is why he's probably thinking that one is like going the extra mile. So why should I forgive? Because when the whole thing started, maybe somebody somewhere is making advances to you, or you are the one that is seeing somebody differently from the way you should see the person. The ideal thing is to go back to your partner, let your partner know this is what is going on. So your partner can help you to stop it.
Wait, hold up. Okay, so like I have a crush on someone, then I go to my husband and say, honey,
No, that's the only way.
honey, I'm crushing on that guy. Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Crushing on the other one.
It's somebody.
Okay, someone is making advances. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, I get you.
Excuse me. Even when you're crushing, that's my point. No, patience. The only way.
Between two friends. You understand? Yes.
So you should be able to talk about those things.
Everything.
No, I
Okay.
go with you.
That's really true. Yes.
Okay, so let's allow her land.
I had such a case myself. When my husband came to say, I'm crushing on this person, and I have to help him to get out of it. So it's not a big deal. So long as you do, for him to come home to tell you, this is what I'm going through.
It means he doesn't want to go that way.
He's just honest. He doesn't want to go that way. But by the time he keep it to himself, and he start building on it, gets to a state whereby it gets to. But even then, the Bible says we should forgive. And the Bible says when the Bible defined love, especially between a man and a wife, he said the man should love the wife just as God
Christ loved the church.
He gave himself for the church. He built his church. He washed his church. He cleansed his church. He presented to God a church that has no spot nor wrinkle. All that was done by Jesus to the church. So the man in the whole now is also supposed to have that kind of love to the wife. When he's ready to die for the wife, believe you me, any man, any woman that sees her husband has that level of love for her. She can come home confidently to say, honey, this is what is going on in my office or wherever. You understand? So it's now left to the man to cancel. It's just like a case of a woman I had cancer, and now the cancer is still on between her and canceling the husband and the wife. When it was starting, a man made advances to her. And the man decided to employ her. And I told her, don't go and work for this man. Something else is going to come out of it. And before you know it, something else actually came out of it because she took the job. Something else came out of it. The husband doesn't know what has come out of it. But the husband just noticed that my wife is different. This is not the woman I used to marry. And I cannot tell the man that something else has entered.
It's not your place, exactly.
So the only thing I can do now is that, okay, try to help her come back home. Because she's outside. He's helping her to come back home.
Don't enter.
You understand? So I believe there is no sin that cannot be forgiven. There is no sin that cannot be forgiven. When you get to that, say, okay, I can't forgive, it's too much. Well, you can ask God for the grace to forgive.
I think I share your sentiment. I don't think there's really any sin that is so big. That one cannot actually, it might take time, but I think with time, everything just gets better. And exactly. Even if you discover and is remorseful. I had a story about a man and a woman who fell out because of infidelity, and they went their separate ways. The man went on and, you know, married who he was cheating with, and the woman eventually also married somebody else, got pregnant and had a child for the other man. And years down the line, both of them came back together again. You know, so when you hear such stories, you begin to wonder. You know.
Because both of them had gone into what they should go into.
All right,
You know what?
so
It's actually easier when your partner cheats and then you get even to move on.
so my partner cheats, I cheat back.
No, I'm not saying that. Two wrongs don't make a right. But from a mental and, you know, realistic point of view.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, Charles, I don't know what's happening with you today. Maybe.
That's true. Like, it's really huge.
Really, it
So
is.
I hold such premium
Huh.
to faithfulness,
Faithfulness, commitment.
I really don't know how I will be able to deal with a partner who is unfaithful.
Okay.
I am like, it's really
Okay, that is you. All right, Mrs. Tina.
Yes, my problem in the counseling room is, why is it, maybe Chance you help us out, why is it that women find it easy to forgive?
Yeah.
But the men, they say over their
They
head.
can never get over it.
Because
Yeah.
in my little work, in this work I'm doing, I've never seen any man that will say, okay, let's try again. We say over their dead.
I don't know.
Why is it like that? Women, they are ready to.
You know, I think it's really a cultural thing. And when I say culture, not just by, you know, country,
Educated and
is a culture of
Is
the
a-
species.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, women are assumed to be more, you know,
Should be a bit more,
you know,
what's the word?
there you go. We know what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
The men are
Well-behaved.
supposed to be conquerors.
It's
you know?
more like an expectation.
Exactly.
You know, for a man to sort of
However, and when I
step
say
out.
this, I'm saying from both angles. I'm sure if I were a woman, it will be almost impossible for me, you know, to forgive. And you know, when you talk about forgiveness, I believe forgiveness is not really a feeling, it's not an emotion, it's a mental decision to not get even. Okay, to move away. And the truth is, for years, and as you may never get over this feeling of hurt and betrayal, but you just make a conscious decision every day.
Okay.
to move
All right. So I think
beyond
this takes
what
us to
happened.
like the next level of our discussion on this topic, which is, all right, so I mean, we've been hurt, we've been broken and all that. How do we move on? What are the steps, you know, that one should take as a man, as a woman who has been cheated on? Quickly.
The first step is to forgive.
Forgive.
To forgive and
Forgive being, don't do back.
yeah. As far as the next person decided that it's a stop, as, you know, I will not go back to my vomit. Forgive them first. And to start, the next person has to help, because that's where the help comes in. All the counseling they need, professional counseling they need for that person to forget a little bit, because it's not easy. Because anything, it's just like they say, whoever that bitten by snake fears the head of lizard. So any little thing the other person does, you say you started. You know,
It's a signal, yeah.
To try to reorientate the person's psyche, that you know, because any movement immediately the other.
Everything is suspicious.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it starts from the mind. After that forgiveness, for the person to make up the mind that I want to move on.
Okay.
I want to trust again.
All right. So Charles,
Trust again.
what should
How
we be
to
doing?
move on. Like she said, forgiveness, but let me point out, you know, lots of people actually think forgiveness is an emotional state. No, it's not an emotion. It's a mental decision. It's a mental accent that says, okay, these are the obvious, you know, realities, but I choose to look beyond. Because I promise you, now, let's even beyond just, you know, infidelity, like the regular day-to-day interaction when people offend you. There are times that you remember something that someone did 7 years ago and you get so angry in the moment. But forgiveness is just a constant decision that I will remember tomorrow, I will feel really bad, but I will look beyond it. Okay, that's for those who feel the need to fight on for that relationship. However, in some cases, and this, I'm just trying to be real. Now, like she mentioned, a partner who is remorseful, who feels bad and then makes a decision, I will not do this again. Some people are just not remorseful. Now, once a cheater, always a cheater. That's the truth. The fact that when someone has broken that oath, there's every tendency. Now, you have to know who your spouse is. Is this person ready to bite the bullet and control themselves, or are they just going to keep going and coming back and you're saying forgive? You're exposing yourself and your children to potential harm. Like a wife or husband that consistently cheats can bring home a disease that can kill you and kill your spouse, and your children will be left all alone in the world. So you have to make a decision, a far-reaching decision that puts into account your best interest for your health and your safety.
Okay.
That's just my position.
All right. Okay, Pastor Dolly.
I think to say that forgive, yes, it's very good to forgive. But when, before you can really say, okay, I've forgiven this person, before the pains can heal, there has to be steps that is taken by that very person who is cheating. For instance, like I said, it's a process. The process that led to the infidelity. Those process, for instance, staying home out late, not being that nice to your wife the way you used to be and all that. Both sides, if it's the man or the woman, your partner needs to see that those signs are no more there. Maybe coming home late, they have to see that you come home early, being nice to your wife, and all those things. You have to even do better than you were
doing before.
Yes, because you are going to build trust. And it is trust that brings healing. Without trust, there will be no healing.
There won't be healing.
So if there's going to be healing, there has to be trust. So you have to build the trust. The trust is not going to be built by prayers alone. So to say. It has to be by your action.
Practical steps.
Practical steps. She has to see that, or he or she has to see that, yeah, this man or this woman has really changed. Oh, she should be able to tell somebody, oh, I know my wife now. I know my husband now. I know what he can do. He has changed. But whereby he's not able to say that and he wants to be forgiven, how is the forgiveness going to work? No matter how much the person tries, the pain is still there. So long as the pain is there, the pain will provoke action that will
can even result to murder.
There's no forgiveness here.
So come in here, man.
Quickly.
The case of CEO, he cheated with the staff and got her pregnant. They had a child, a son. I mean, a view open, and the wife was about leaving. So the wife gave condition for me to stay back in this marriage. You have to fire the lady. The man refused.
Where do you go from there?
Yes.
Okay, let's go to the viewers' parliament and hear a bit from there. This one says, Jesus said in Matthew 19 verses 9 that you should divorce the person.
That's the man.
Okay. All right, this other one says, what of a case whereby your ex cheats on you by getting married without telling you? Then you find out he says, it's my fault. Then he still calls and texts you telling you that he still loves you. When you ask him why he does that, he says he loves me genuinely, just as he loves his wife. And he can't stop loving me because it's true love. What do I do being single? Because I see him just as a... That's not just wrong.
Somebody's married
already. No. I mean, every married man will tell a single girl, I wish I'd met you. It's all a lie. I mean, we all know that by now.
You know what? It may not actually be a lie, okay? Because, before marriage, there's an expectation that people have. Now, when they get married, okay, there's a reality of the relationship.
Yeah.
Now, the same, fantasy, okay, that they had prior to marriage, they begin to see with people they're not married to.
Yeah.
So it's not exactly a lie. It's just
but he's not gonna leave the wife.
Certainly.
He's not gonna leave the wife.
And that's why he's single. Let her go and
Quickly, but we don't have so much time.
Those men or women that can deliberately lie about that. A girl you don't love, you just want to have her.
Yes.
So you can lie about it.
Okay.
Yes.
not be today.
All right. This other one says, Ma, in a case whereby a man who is happily married happens to meet an old girlfriend of 19 years ago and decides to follow her along the line, she got pregnant. What is your advice to the wife at home because he is on top of the world?
That's what the person is going to see the person. Now the thing that happened to her, right?
So, I mean, what's the wife supposed to do?
The question, do you want to keep your marriage?
Is that a marriage, first of all?
Well,
I mean,
married. So if the wife wants to stay, fine, you have to brave the odds and then know that a child is involved who will need some kind of relationship with the father and the half siblings.
Yeah.
You have to factor all that in. If it's something you're ready to deal with and you can cope with, fine. And essentially, if you want to keep your marriage, and your desire to keep your marriage has to be for the right reasons. I don't agree that, oh, if I move, he'll marry the other person, and that's not enough reason to keep the marriage.
It depends on the man.
Exactly. You must want your marriage. You know, not just for what people will say,
or to save face or whatever.
It's
Okay. All right. This is an interesting. Yeah.
That is that to a very large extent, you must probably just have it at the back of your mind that you are now having a man that has two wives.
Yeah, in a polygamous setting. All right, this one, Mrs. Idowu Ayegba from Ikpaja in Lagos says, if my husband cheats on me, I will retaliate by doing the same thing he did. If he can't take it, then we throw in the towel. Simple. The Bible says, do unto others as you will them do unto you. It's called the golden rule. Mrs. Idowu,
I don't think it's
I need to have you on this show. If there's a way, get across to me. Yeah, I like having people with diverse opinions. I mean, yeah, exactly. All right, this one says infidelity in marriages is like a small poo on the side of the plate of a delicious soup.
Oh my God!
Even when the poo is washed away and cannot be seen again with the eyes, it's registered on the mind. Total forgiveness may take serious time or practically impossible. Good one. All right, this one says, how do I forgive a man who made me lose a child, and now because I have not been able to give birth to another child, he goes out to have a child outside? The most painful thing is that he said he did it to show he is not the one that has the problem.
Oh God.
What causes marital infidelity? That's a question. Suggest ways you think we can get out of this hell route. I think that's what we've been talking about ever since. Well, my submission.
This is mostly women who sent in comments.
My submission on this is, first of all, I think people don't even know what marriage is about. So when that foundation is not clear, so you go into it and you just do as you like. If you're a married man, you belong to that woman, your wife. You can't do as you like just because you're the man. I think Nigerian men need to get that. Also, if you're a married woman, you know, you belong